Think about your closest friend. Why them? Out of the billions of people on this planet, what is the mysterious alchemy that draws you to them? We often take our friendships for granted. We see them as a simpler, less intense version of romantic love, a safe harbor for comfort and support. But what if that's only half the story? What if the deepest purpose of friendship isn't comfort, but consciousness? What if your friends are not just your allies, but your most honest and uncompromising mirrors? Today, guided by the deep wisdom of Carl Jung, we will explore the soulful art of platonic love. We will journey into the heart of our chosen relationships, not to celebrate what makes them comfortable, but to honor what makes them powerful. We will learn why the very people you love the most are often the ones who most powerfully trigger your shadow and reveal your hidden gold. This is not a conversation about how to be a better friend. It is a conversation about how to use your friendships to become a more whole human being. If you are ready to look into the sacred mirror and see not just your friend, but the truth of your own soul reflected back, then you are in the right place. Let the alchemy begin. The friends you choose are the family your soul recognizes. In the great map of the human heart, Carl Jung identified three primary forms of love. There is familial love, often based on biology and duty. There is romantic love, which, as we have seen, is often driven by the powerful unconscious projection of our anima or animus. It is a love based on the hunger for completion. But then, there is a third unique and profoundly important path: platonic love. Friendship. Friendship is different. It is a conscious affinity. It is a relationship based not on duty and not on the desperate need to find a missing half. It is based on a quiet, soulful recognition, a sense of seeing something of yourself in the soul of another. And it is in this unique, chosen space that some of the most important work of our individuation journey takes place. Why? Because your friendships are a sacred mirror. They are a psychological laboratory, a space where you can experiment with who you are and safely encounter the hidden parts of yourself in a less charged, less existentially terrifying environment than romance or family. But this is precisely why our friendships can sometimes be so confusing. We expect them to be a place of pure comfort and agreement. And when they are not, when they bring up feelings of irritation, of envy, of judgment, we think something has gone wrong. We think the friendship is failing. And here is the counterintuitive truth. Those difficult feelings are not a sign that the friendship is failing. They are a sign that it is working. Let me tell you the story of two women we will call Sarah and Emily. They were the best of friends, inseparable. Sarah was a planner, organized, responsible, always on time. Her life was a fortress of beautiful, predictable order. Her persona was the competent one. And Emily was a free spirit, spontaneous, creative, and perpetually late. Her life was a beautiful, chaotic dance. And Sarah loved Emily for this, But she was also constantly annoyed by her. She would get a surge of intense irritation when Emily would show up 20 minutes late for lunch, full of apologies and a wild story. Sarah thought her frustration was righteous. It was about respect, about Emily's flakiness. But this was only half the story. One day, after a particularly frustrating incident, Sarah sat down with her journal, and instead of writing about all the ways Emily was wrong, she asked a different, more courageous question. Why does this bother me so much? And as she sat with that question, a new awareness began to dawn. She realized that her irritation was not just about Emily. It was a form of grief. It was the grief for the part of herself that she had been forced to exile into her shadow as a child. The spontaneous, playful, slightly irresponsible part of her that was never allowed to exist. In her family, order and responsibility were the highest virtues. To be flaky was a cardinal sin. So she locked that part of herself away. And now, here was Emily, her beloved friend, joyfully living out Sarah's own exiled shadow. Emily was not the problem. Emily was the mirror. And the irritation Sarah felt was the sound of her own soul knocking on the door of its cage, begging to be let out to play. This is the great secret work of friendship. It is not just about finding people who are like us. It is about the mysterious alchemical draw to the people who carry the missing pieces of us, the pieces we have either disowned into our shadow or have not yet had the courage to claim as our own golden potential. So pause with me for a moment. Just take a gentle breath and bring to mind one of your closest friends. Now I invite you to ask a quiet, curious question. What is the one quality in them that you most admire, but also sometimes find just a little bit irritating? Their confidence, their freedom, their discipline, their vulnerability? Just hold that quality in your mind. That quality is not just them. It is a clue. It is a mirror. It is a sacred invitation from your soul, pointing to a part of yourself that is asking to be seen. This is not your fault. This is not their fault. This is the beautiful, challenging, and holy work of the friendship mirror. But if our friends are all mirrors, do they all reflect the same thing? Or are there different kinds of mirrors, different archetypal roles that our friends play, each one designed to help us see a different room in the great house of our own soul?
Not all friends are meant to comfort you. Some are sent to awaken you. To understand the sacred mirror of friendship, it helps to see that our friends often arrive in our lives playing a specific archetypal role. They are the cast of characters in the great play of our own becoming. Think of your own social circle. You will likely recognize these figures. First, there is the ally. This is the friend who is in your corner no matter what, the companion on your hero's journey. They offer safety, loyalty, and the profound gift of unconditional support. They are the ones you call at 3 in the morning. We all need an ally. Then there is the mentor, or the sage. This is the friend who is perhaps a few steps ahead of you on a particular path. They offer wisdom, perspective, and the guidance born from their own hard-won experience. They don't give you the answers, but they help you ask better questions. And of course, there is the jester, or the trickster. This is the friend who saves you from your own seriousness. They make you laugh. They remind you to play. They are the ones who can lovingly poke fun at your carefully constructed persona, and in doing so, remind you of your own humanity. These friendships are a gift. They are a balm for the soul. But there is a fourth role, one that is often the most challenging and the most transformative. It is the friend who plays the role of the mirror, the shadow bearer. This is the friend who, simply by being who they are, relentlessly reflects back to you the parts of yourself you have not yet owned. They are the ones who trigger you. They are the ones who bring up your envy, your irritation, your judgment. And our first impulse is to blame the mirror. But the work of a conscious, soulful life is to learn how to read the reflection. So I invite you now to a small, courageous act of radical honesty. This is where the real shadow work of friendship begins. Pause with me for a moment. Place a hand on your heart. Bring to mind a dear friend. And now let's get curious about two of the most difficult reflections. First, the reflection of envy. When you feel that sharp, secret pang of envy at your friend's success, our first reaction is shame. We think, I am a bad friend. But what if that envy is not a moral failing? What if it is a compass? The next time you feel it, I invite you to ask this question. What beautiful golden part of my own potential that I have not yet claimed is this person mirroring back to me? Your envy of their creative freedom is the cry of your own inner artist. Your envy of their calm confidence is a summons from your own inner sage. Your friend's success is not a judgment on your failure. It is a postcard from a part of your own soul that is waiting for you to come visit. And then there is the reflection of irritation. That recurring annoyance you feel at your friend's habit, their disorganization, their loudness, their people-pleasing. The next time you feel that surge of annoyance, I invite you to ask this question. What exiled, disowned part of my own shadow that I was taught was unacceptable is this person living out for me? Let's go back to Sarah and Emily. When Sarah realized her irritation at Emily's flakiness was a reflection of her own exiled, playful inner child, everything changed. She didn't need Emily to change. She realized the irritation was a message for her. It was an invitation to integrate. So she tried a small experiment. She gave herself one afternoon of unplanning. She wandered through a park with no goal. It felt strange at first, uncomfortable, but it also felt liberating. And the next time she met Emily for lunch, and Emily was 10 minutes late, Sarah found that the usual sharp surge of irritation was softer, muted, because she had given herself a small taste of the very freedom she was judging in her friend. She had not just understood the reflection, she had begun to integrate it. This is the alchemy. This is how you transform the lead of conflict into the gold of consciousness. You stop needing your friends to be different, and you start using your reactions to them as a map back to the lost territories of your own soul. But this brings up a profound and often painful question. These roles are not static. The mirrors are not fixed. What happens when a friendship has served its purpose? What happens when the reflection is no longer one of growth, but of stagnation? How do we honor the love that was, while also having the courage to let it go?
Not all friendships are meant to last a lifetime. Some are meant to last a season. This is one of the most painful and most liberating truths of the soulful life. Like all living things, our relationships have seasons. There is the spring of a new connection, the excitement, the discovery, the shared sense of infinite potential. There is the summer of deep, established intimacy, the shared histories, the inside jokes, the easy comfort of a bond that has weathered a few storms. But then there is autumn, a time of change, a gentle or sometimes abrupt drifting apart. The conversations become strained, the shared ground seems to shrink. And finally, there can be winter, a time of dormancy or a time of ending. The common mistake, the source of so much quiet suffering, is that we try to force a friendship that is in its autumn back into summer. We cling, we feel guilty, we try to recreate a connection that has, for reasons neither person is to blame for, simply completed its purpose in our lives. And the friendship that was once a source of joy becomes a heavy obligation, a ghost that we keep trying to talk to. Part of the art of soulful friendship is having the courage to recognize the changing of the seasons. It is the wisdom to know when a particular mirror has shown you all it can show you for now. Letting go of a friendship that has run its course is not an act of failure or betrayal. It is an act of profound respect. It is a silent, compassionate thank you for the gifts, the lessons, and the reflections that were shared. It is making space for a new season to begin. Let's return to Sarah and Emily for a final moment. After Sarah's great realization, her friendship with Emily changed. She no longer needed Emily to be more organized, and Emily no longer felt the subtle pressure of Sarah's judgment. They found a new, more authentic way of being together. But it's also possible the story could have gone another way. Sarah's journey inward might have led her down a path that no longer resonated with Emily's, and the most loving thing they could have done would have been to bless each other and to let go. This is not a failure. This is the courage to evolve. So what is the goal then? What does it mean to cultivate a soulful friendship? It is the art of becoming both a safe harbor and a true mirror.
It is learning to offer the two greatest gifts of platonic love. The first gift is what the psychologist Carl Rogers called unconditional positive regard. This is the role of the ally. It is the ability to hold a space of deep, loving acceptance for your friend. To say with your presence, "I am here. You are safe. All parts of you are welcome here." But this is only half of the equation, because the second gift is the gift of unconditional truth. This is the role of the mirror. It is the courage to reflect back with great love and great gentleness what you see. To speak the difficult truth that helps your friend meet their own shadow or claim their own gold. To be this kind of friend requires you to do your own inner work. It requires you to be so grounded in your own sense of self that you can offer a reflection that is clean, untainted by your own needs, your own projections, or your own judgments. Pause here with me. Think of a friend you love and ask yourself honestly, which of these two gifts is easier for you to give? The comfort of the ally or the clarity of the mirror? Most of us lean one way. The work of a soulful friendship is to learn how to offer both. When you are in a friendship like this, a friendship of both safety and truth, the struggle ends. The relationship is no longer a source of anxiety. It becomes a source of profound peace and growth. You are no longer afraid of the mirror your friend holds up, because you know it is being held with love. You are finally free to be seen fully. This is the deep, quiet freedom that comes from a life rich with soulful connections. It is the peace of knowing you are not alone on this journey. You have a tribe of mirrors and allies walking beside you. But being that mirror, holding that unconditional truth, requires a particular kind of courage. It requires the courage to speak what is true even when it's difficult. It requires the courage to enter the fire of conflict, not to win, but to connect. So how do we do that? How do we have the difficult conversation from a place of centered, soulful integrity?
And so, the art of soulful friendship is not an art of perfection. It is an art of presence. It is the courageous willingness to show up for another person in all of their complexity, and to allow them to show up for you. The wisdom of Carl Jung reminds us that all deep relationships are a form of alchemy. They are a sacred container, a crucible, designed not just for our comfort, but for our transformation. Your friends are not just the people you have fun with. They are the co-authors of your soul's story. They are the keepers of your history, the witnesses to your becoming, and the mirrors that remind you of both the shadow you have forgotten and the gold you have yet to claim. To cultivate this kind of friendship is one of the greatest works of a lifetime. It asks us to be brave enough to be the mirror, offering the gift of compassionate truth. And it asks us to be humble enough to stand before the mirror and receive the reflection with an open heart. It is a dance, a delicate, beautiful, and sometimes clumsy dance between holding a safe space and holding up an honest reflection.
This is not a simple path. It is a path that requires immense courage, profound self-awareness, and a deep commitment to your own inner work. Because in the end, the quality of your friendships will always be a direct reflection of the quality of your friendship with yourself. You cannot offer a clean mirror to another if your own is clouded with projections. You cannot hold a safe space for another if you have not first built a sanctuary within yourself. So, I invite you now to a small act of friendship alchemy, a quiet honoring of the mirrors in your own life. Think of one of your closest friends. Bring their face to your mind's eye, and I invite you to ask yourself two simple, profound questions. First, what is the greatest gift this friendship brings to my soul? And second, what is one quality in them that sometimes challenges or triggers or irritates me? Just hold both of those answers in your heart. The beautiful gift and the difficult reflection. The space between those two answers. The space that can hold both the ally and the mirror. That is the sacred ground of a real, soulful friendship. In the comments below, I invite you to honor the mirrors in your life. Share just one word that describes the greatest gift a dear friend brings to your soul. Let this space become a collective testament to the power of platonic love. But once you learn to see the truth in the mirror of your friendships, the next courageous step is learning how to speak it. Not just to yourself in your journal, but to others. How do we navigate the fire of conflict and disagreement, not to win an argument, but to deepen a connection? How do we have the difficult conversation from a place of centered, soulful integrity?